Listen, when your doctor tells you that you've got 6 months left, you're supposed to go on trips, make peace with people, say your goodbyes. That's what normal people do. Me, I spent those 6 months systematically destroying my son's life. And I'm not sorry. I'm Carol Henderson. I'm 79 years old. Or I was when this story started. By the time you hear this, I'll probably be gone. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Doctor gave me 6 months. That was 5 months ago. I have one son, Derek. He's 53, and he's a piece of garbage. Let me back up. When Derek turned 30, I set up a trust fund for him. $500,000 that he'd get when I died. I thought I was being responsible, planning ahead, making sure my kid would be okay when I was gone. Big mistake. For the past 23 years, Derek has been, how do I say this nicely? Counting down the days until I die. And he's not exactly subtle about it. Every birthday, wow, Mom, 79. That's really up there, huh? Every time I got a cold. Should we maybe update your will? Just to be safe. When I broke my hip last year, Mom, have you thought about hospice care? I mean, at your age? He wanted me dead. Not because he hated me, because he wanted that $500,000. Then I got diagnosed. Pancreatic cancer. Terminal. 6 months. Maybe less. I called Derek to tell him. You know what that man said? Oh no. That's terrible, Mom. Long pause. So, we should probably talk about arrangements. And the estate stuff, just so everything's ready. He was happy. I could hear it in his voice. His mom has 6 months to live, and he's thinking about money. So I went home. And I cried. And I got angry. Real angry. And then I started planning. See, what Derek didn't know was that the trust fund was controlled by me until I died. I could change the terms. I could change the beneficiary. I could do whatever I wanted with it. So I did. First, I hired a private investigator, spent some of that trust money to dig into Derek's life. What I found made me sick. Derek was already in debt. Massive debt. He'd been taking out loans using the trust fund as collateral. Telling banks, my mom's old, she'll die soon, I'll inherit $500,000. He owed $230,000 to various lenders, none of which he'd told me about. But it gets worse. Derek had been telling his wife, my daughter-in-law Linda, that he'd already inherited the money, that I'd died 3 years ago. He'd been using credit cards and loans, promising Linda they'd pay it all off when the estate settled. Linda had no idea I was alive. Let that sink in. My son told his wife I was dead 3 years ago, and she believed him. I also found out Derek had been going around telling people I had Alzheimer's, that I was losing it. Setting up the story that when I actually died, if anyone questioned anything, he could say Mom was confused at the end. This man was planning ahead, making sure nobody would question what happened to the money. So here's what I did. I called Derek, told him I wanted to get my affairs in order before I died. Could he come over to discuss the trust? He showed up the next day, practically ran to my house. We sat down. I had papers ready. Official-looking papers. Derek, I want to make sure you're taken care of when I'm gone. His eyes lit up. Thanks, Mom. I really appreciate. So I'm dissolving the trust. His face froze. I'm donating the entire $500,000 to the American Cancer Society. Every penny. In memory of your father. The color drained from his face. Your... what? I'm donating your inheritance. To cancer research. All of it. Mom, you can't... I absolutely can. The trust is mine until I die. I can do whatever I want. And I want it to go to people who are actually fighting cancer. Not people who are celebrating that their mother has it. Derek stood up. Started pacing. Getting red in the face. Mom, I never said I was happy about the cancer. Don't lie to me. I've got 6 months left. I'm not wasting them on your bullshit. You've spent 23 years waiting for me to die so you could get money. Well, congratulations. I'm dying, and you're getting nothing. He tried to argue, tried to guilt me, tried to say I was not thinking clearly because of the cancer. That's when I played my ace. Derek, I also know about the loans. The $230,000 you owe because you told banks I'd die soon. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. I know you told Linda I died 3 years ago. I know about the credit cards. I know you've been telling people I have Alzheimer's to set up your story. I know everything. I pulled out the private investigator's report, slapped it on the table. I've spent the last month documenting every lie you've told, every debt you've hidden, every scheme you've planned. And it's all going to the bank, to Linda, to your creditors, and to anyone else who asks. Derek's whole body was shaking. Mom, please. Get out of my house. Mom, I'm your son. A son doesn't pray for his mother's death. Get out. He left. That was 3 months ago. Since then, Derek's life has completely fallen apart. Linda found out he'd been lying to her for 3 years. She filed for divorce, took the kids. Derek lives in a studio apartment now. The banks called in his loans. He had to declare bankruptcy. His credit is destroyed. His marriage is destroyed. His relationship with his kids is destroyed. And me, I'm still alive. Barely. Doctor says maybe another few weeks. But I got to see Derek lose everything. And honestly, that's been better than any bucket list trip could have been. The trust fund went to the American Cancer Society last week. $500,000 to fight the disease that's killing me. Derek gets zero. I'll die knowing that my money is helping find a cure, not funding some ungrateful bastard's lifestyle. People ask if I feel bad, if I regret it. Hell no. You don't get to celebrate your mother's terminal diagnosis and then expect a reward for it. Derek wanted my death to make him rich. Instead, my death is making the world a better place. And he gets to live with knowing he destroyed his own life by being a greedy piece of shit. If you're reading this, I'm probably gone. Cancer finally won. But I won something too. I won the satisfaction of watching my son learn that his mother's death wasn't going to solve his problems. It was going to create a whole bunch of new ones. Goodbye, Derek. Enjoy your studio apartment and your bankruptcy. Your loving mother, Carol the End. Subscribe for real human stories. This is raw, real revenge.